have to come to the Cuban Havana Cemetery. This is an old cemetery. I'm going to show you around. I hope you enjoy. I'm doing this with utmost respect for all those that laying here for eternity. Let me show you around. This is where Marta Abreu and her family are laid to rest. Now again, let me emphasize that I'm doing this video with the utmost respect for everyone that is buried here at this cemetery. So let me show you around. Eric, psst, psst. Eric. Let me walk in here to see what can we see from the entrance. They are working inside. As you guys can see, there is some construction, but that is the place where the person has, was laid to rest. I cannot go inside because I'm not authorized, so I'm showing you guys from the outside. Now this is a very large cemetery, so I cannot show you every single place, but I want to give you an idea of how it is, how beautiful and clean and peaceful these sacred grounds are. Now the tombstones says 1905. This is from 1905, 1937. Long gone, but never forgotten. So you guys can see by the date, this is long before President Batista left Cuba, 1905. I believe, I could be wrong, a year or two or a few. Batista left Cuba in I believe 59. I could be wrong, but around 1950s. What's the backstory about what you just saw? This is a Romeo and Juliet story here in Mexico. The one that you just saw was supposed to be the highest monument, tombstone, that was supposed to be in this cemetery, but it didn't happen. So let me tell you a little bit about the person who's here. It's to be a lady that back in many years ago in the 1900s, she was in love with another man, but she was married. And back in those days, those things were just not acceptable. She got divorced. She married her lover, and when she died, that's where she was buried. But the story is this. This was supposed to be the highest tomb here at the cemetery, but it didn't happen, because right behind it there is one that it's even higher. That's one that celebrates many firemen who died here in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, due to a big fire. So let me show you around. Now, if you look, or if you were to measure, this one is higher than that one, but it wasn't supposed to be that way. That one was supposed to be higher, but because they built this one this size, this high, what did her husband, lover, did? He planted 2 palm trees, and those palm trees kept on growing and ended up being higher than actually this one. So it's still the highest tomb here at Havana Cemetery in Cuba. Let me turn around so you can see the palm trees. So that's Romeo and Julieta's story, a love story here at Havana Cemetery. So let me move back and I can do, guys, a comparison so you can see exactly the dimensions. So firemen buried here. As you guys can see, it says Fire Department of Cuba, Havana. And here is where the lady is buried. Look at the trees, at the palm trees, higher than anything else. Havana, Cuba. Again, I'm doing this with the utmost respect for every single person that was laid to rest here at this cemetery. This is another very interesting story. Lady Amelia Gori, she died in 1901. Her husband buried her here, and if you see, she has a baby on her arms. This is the story. She died, she was buried here, but in many places, this is something that doesn't happen in the States, but in many places around the world, after a few years, the person sometimes is unearthed and put in a little box and done something. As you guys can see, there is lots of flowers here still. This is the tombstone with more flowers, and this is the reason. Lots of people come here because when they unearthed her, they found her body with a baby buried with her. Well, they buried her without knowing that she was pregnant at that time. So this became a place that people come here and pray. People that cannot have kids, ladies that cannot have babies, they come and ask for a baby. Now, when you visit this tombstone, you are never supposed to turn your back on the tombstone. You're supposed to walk away facing the tombstone. People come here praying for a baby. And that's the story with this one. Amelia Goiri, who died in 1901. Now, this is a pretty story but also a sad story. As you guys can see, there is a lady laying there, and right by her, it's a dog. Well, guess what, guys? That dog is buried right here with her. And the story goes that when she died, her dog came and lay there next to her where she was buried, and he lived for the rest of his life, or her life, because I don't know if the dog was a boy or a girl, and the dog lay there for years and years until he died. People bring food, used to bring food for the dog, but the dog never left until he passed away. The lady passed in 1931. Her name was Jeanette Ryder. I cannot say for sure. Let me. Again, guys, Havana Cemetery. I'm doing this broadcast with the utmost respect for every single person that is buried here in this place, in this cemetery. Okay, guys, this concludes this part of my coverage. We live in the cemetery now. As you guys had an opportunity to see it, this is the Colón cemetery here in Havana, Cuba. I hope you enjoy our broadcast. I know that when I say enjoy, I don't mean you had fun. What I mean is you had an opportunity to visit and see this place through my lens. Don't forget to support Yonkers Voice by giving a like to my channel. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Yonkers Voice is the place to follow. We show you things as they are, no sugarcoating. It is what it is. We show you what it is. Now it's up to you to follow, don't follow. We show you things with our best interest, so you know what's going on, so you see the world through my camera, through my lens. Thank you. Now we're going somewhere else here in Havana, Cuba. Later, guys.